Welcome to yet another in and out video. I do want to talk about what has come into my life in January and also what things I decluttered this month. So as a minimalist, trying to not declutter too much and in general being mindful with what I buy and what I get and what I accept into my life, there's still kind of a lot of fluctuation going on. Let me share with you the things that have come into my life this month so far. So the first thing that came in this month was this red orangey sweater. I loved this color. I have loved this color for a pretty long time and have thought about adding a sweater to my wardrobe, but this was kind of an impulse purchase because I found it in a secondhand store, and actually, I can't really tell you how much it was in the end because we had a whole bag of things and that just cost 20 euros. So that might have been like 1 or 2 euros. I thought it was like 98% cotton and 2% elastane because I searched for a tag and I found a tag and that's what I read. But then a few days later, I actually realized that that's just these parts that are 98% cotton, but the main part is actually only 88% cotton, so it's like 12% elastane. No, not elastane, polyester in there. And yeah, I'm a bit sad about that because that's not necessary. That could be like 100% cotton and would feel nicer and would be better and more sustainable. But I have this sweater now, it's useful, it's a basic piece, and I'm gonna wear it. Another thing, kind of the opposite that came into my life, is this huge wool blanket. This is 100% wool and I bought it secondhand off like an online marketplace. And a wool blanket is something that has been on my list, I think, for over 2 years and is one of the items I've been searching for like again and again. And usually these are just so expensive. And I was searching for a secondhand one, but usually there are not really good secondhand options. But this one cost 30 euros plus shipping, so it was 35, which I think is a really good deal for a 100% wool blanket. And I also kind of like the colors. It's this brown on the other side. And so I'm very, very happy to have been able to fulfill this wish for myself of having a wool blanket. In the long term, I also want to declutter all the like polyester blankets we still have in our household, but I don't think we have enough wool blankets yet to declutter the polyester ones. At some point. And then the last thing that has come into my life is this gorgeous green hoodie from Colorful Standard. So they reached out again to us, to the podcast. So that's my boyfriend who's editing me and Paulina, and asked us if we want something. And I said I wanted this green hoodie. And it's 100% cotton. It's one of their like 66 colors, and it's garment dyed and pre-washed and like organic cotton and sustainably and ethically made, and just one of now, I think, I don't know, at least far over 10 pieces of Colorful Standard pieces I have in my life. And I think it's also kind of the 10th color or something I have, and I think it's beautiful. I do have a code for you. It's linked down below, and this was not sponsored. It was not even for this channel, but it was a PR sample. I did not pay for this myself, so I want to be transparent and let you know. But I'm excited to have it in my wardrobe. I'm gonna wear it a lot, and now it really has to go and be washed because it has some stains. I've been wearing it a lot already, so yeah. With 2 sweaters coming into my life, into my wardrobe, I also decided to declutter a few things. Now, I already said it in the very beginning, I'm not a huge fan of just decluttering very much anymore because I think that in the end, minimalism should be about being so mindful with your things that you don't end up like just staying in the same cycle of buying, decluttering. So I do want to be really intentional with what I buy and then also use all of these things as long as possible. But I think it's just natural and normal that some things change, and then sometimes stuff we have does not fit our current lifestyle anymore. And that has been the case with these items here. So sadly enough, 3 of them were self-knitted. I'm decluttering this top because it's just like, this is a problem. It stretches out, and then these are too long, and then it's too revealing. And I'm just gonna bring to a clothing swap because another body might fit better into this. Because it doesn't really make sense to open it up. It's such thin yarn, and I don't know. And then I'm decluttering this sweater. I loved making this. I love the concept of it. I made like the pattern myself and everything, and it turned out great, but it's a bit short. And whenever I'm wearing this, I have to be really careful and tuck it into my pants again, because that's kind of the way I like it, like how it looks. But that just doesn't work with my new social work job, and then it ended up just staying in my wardrobe, and I haven't been wearing it a lot. And therefore I decided to also give this to another person who maybe wants to wear it more, who maybe has a different body, different lifestyle, different pants that work better with this sweater. And then the last one, I'm a bit sad about that too. It's this sweater I just knitted, like the last sweater I knitted this past summer, because I didn't like the sweater that was made out of this yarn. I knit with this yarn first, a sweater, I wore it for like 2 years, I decided it's not for me anymore, made a new sweater out of it, but I also don't really like this. It's okay, I can wear it, but it's just not perfect. With this though, I decided to keep it. I decided to just put it into my yarn stash, and when I feel like knitting something new out of it, I'm gonna open it up and knit something new out of it. And if in 3 years I decide that I still want to wear this sweater like this, it's gonna come back into my wardrobe. So these things are gonna go to a clothing swap, and this one is gonna stay. But then I also have an item that's from NAS, and NAS is another like amazing brand. They have such amazing pieces. I've just seen new pieces they came out with during the past like season, and they're amazing. From Portugal, it's a small business, and I have this turtleneck, but it's a similar problem. Like, it's just a bit short for me and for the pants I have and wear, and the sleeves are also just a bit short. Plus, I just don't really wear these kinds of layers. Like, I usually wear a t-shirt or a top and then a sweater on top, and I never really go for these. And so I haven't been wearing it so much, and it's just not perfect with the outfits that I usually wear. So I decided that someone else is gonna be happy to have it, more happy than I am to have it in my wardrobe. And what I also did a lot this month is reading. I actually also just recently found a good TV show again that I really enjoyed watching. I'm almost done with it, but I read way more than I watched TV shows this month. And so let's talk about books. First, last month I said I'm not decluttering this and I'm keeping it because it was very inspiring. I decided to still declutter it because I think I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it. And it's not very likely that I'm gonna read it again. And if I really, really, really want to read it again, I can get it somewhere again. And I'm gonna just, give this away and let someone else read it. Then, the first book I read was this. It's The Interestings by Meg Wolitzer. And I really liked how you could follow these 6 people through their lives for like 50 years. And I think it was pretty interesting. They had different lives. Not all of them turned out the way they had imagined. And it's just, there's just a lot of like real life stuff in there. Relationship, health, mental health, sickness, family drama, careers, different things that people go through. And it was sometimes not super easy because they jumped in time, like it was not a very clear timeline, but I enjoyed it very much so. So I'm gonna link all the books down below, like the Goodreads pages of them, and you can check them out for yourself if something sounds interesting to you. Then I also read this book that I got for Christmas, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and I enjoyed it very much. Like, it's science fiction, almost fantasy kind of book. In the future, people are going between planets and systems and everything. But it was just a very, very nice story. Something like a little bit finding your chosen family, making friends, finding your place in the world, and but also with struggles and relationships, and just an interesting world. And there are more books related to this one. Maybe I'm gonna read those. But I enjoyed this very much, so I'm gonna link it down below for you as well, and I can recommend it. And then I read this one, and sometimes I got a bit angry at the characters. I was like, oh, seriously? But then on the other hand, sometimes I could also really relate, and I thought that it had some really, really interesting questions of actually how to be good, like what is good, and how is some stuff annoying, and how do we see ourselves as good people if we maybe are good or are not good, and who decides what's good and what's like good enough. And just, yeah, it's just the story kind of a family, parents with kids, and their struggles and thoughts, and how they try to overcome their differences. That's it. So maybe a word or two on this month. So it was my second month working in my social work job, and I really did realize that some days it's already like, oh, I'm not really looking forward to this. I don't really want to work. And I'm developing like favorite shifts to work, and then shifts I don't like that much, and but I'm also getting to know the workplace better and how stuff is done, and I'm in general like I'm really feeling good in this workplace. But I also realized that at the beginning of the month I had less shifts, and then I had a bunch of time, and then towards the end of the month I had more shifts, and it was a bit stressful. And so yeah, it's different. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still enjoying my life, because you see, I could read a bunch. I went on some walks, not as much as I liked, maybe because it was also just winter and dark and rainy a lot. We also had some snow days, which was wonderful. We went ice skating on a canal here, and I'm looking forward to February. Let's see what February brings. Now I would be interested in hearing from you. How is your year going so far? Have you made any resolutions regarding consumption? Is that going well? What are the ins? What are the outs of your January? How is your spending and consuming and living and enjoying life going? And I also want to just say thank you so much for watching this video. Now, I do want to link a video here that you can check out next. And I do also want to say thank you to all of you who are supporting me on Patreon, because that also helps out my business a lot, and I just like having you there. But also, if you watched the video until now, thank you so much, because that helps out a lot as well. Now, I do hope to see you there or in my next video, and goodbye!